The makeup compact was clutched like a shield in the young woman's hands as Cynthia Erivo talked about Black excellence and the beauty of authentic representation. Ellen was discussing the Tony winner's journey to self-acceptance when she noticed the girl in the second row constantly checking her reflection, while tears mixed with the foundation she'd applied too heavily. What happened next would prove that sometimes the most important stages aren't on Broadway, but in mirrors where young Black women fight to see their own beauty reflected back at them in a world that tells them they're not enough. It was a powerful Tuesday afternoon at the Ellen DeGeneres show, and the studio resonated with artistic energy. 400 audience members had gathered to see one of Broadway's most celebrated voices discuss her latest work. Ellen, magnificent in a deep purple blazer with gold threading that caught the studio lights, was thoroughly enjoying her conversation with Cynthia Erivo, who looked absolutely stunning in an elegant emerald dress, her natural beauty and powerful presence filling the studio with that blend of artistic mastery and unwavering confidence that had made her a beacon for young Black performers worldwide. "Cynthia," Ellen said, leaning forward with genuine admiration, "you've talked about the importance of representation, of young Black girls seeing themselves as leading ladies, as heroes of their own stories. What does that responsibility mean to you?" Cynthia's eyes lit up with the passion that had carried her from London's West End to Hollywood's biggest stages. "Ellen, representation matters because when you don't see yourself reflected as beautiful, as worthy, as powerful, you start to believe you're not. For too long, young Black girls have been told they're too dark, too loud, too much. I want them to know that they're exactly enough, exactly as they are." The audience responded with emotional applause, many young Black women nodding through tears. This wasn't just celebrity promotion. This was validation that felt like healing. "And colorism," Ellen continued carefully, "the way even within communities, there's pressure about skin tone, hair texture, features. How do you address that with young people?" "It's heartbreaking," Cynthia said honestly. "We've internalized so much pain about what beauty looks like that we sometimes perpetuate it ourselves. But I want every young Black woman to know that her darkness is her power, her natural hair is her crown, her features are her heritage. There's no wrong way to be Black and beautiful." That's when Ellen noticed her. In the second row, slightly to the right, sat a young woman who appeared to be around 20. She had beautiful dark skin and wore a conservative navy dress with long sleeves despite the warm studio. Her name was Keisha Williams, though Ellen didn't know it yet. What caught Ellen's attention was the way Keisha was constantly checking her reflection in a small, compact mirror, applying more foundation to skin that was already heavily covered, tears streaming down her face as she tried to make herself appear lighter. Keisha's hands were shaking as she dabbed at her face, and Ellen could see her lips moving silently, as if she was having an internal argument with her reflection. Ellen's instincts, honed through 20 years of reading her audiences, told her this wasn't someone inspired by Cynthia's message of Black beauty. This was someone fighting the exact battle Cynthia was describing. "Cynthia," Ellen said gently, "hold that thought about darkness being power. I think someone in our audience is struggling with exactly what you're talking about." Cynthia followed Ellen's gaze toward Keisha, her expression immediately shifting from entertainer to fierce advocate as she recognized the signs of someone at war with their own reflection. Ellen stood up from her chair and took several steps toward the audience. "Sweetheart, in the second row with the compact. Are you okay?" Keisha looked up, startled and ashamed by the sudden attention of 400 people and multiple cameras. She quickly snapped her compact shut and tried to wipe her tears, but her heavily applied makeup was already streaking. "I'm fine," Keisha said quietly, her voice carrying a slight southern accent. "I'm sorry. I was just fixing my makeup." Ellen walked down the steps that separated the stage from the audience, something she did only when every instinct told her someone was drowning in self-hatred. "What's your name, honey?" Ellen asked, now standing directly in front of Keisha's row. "Keisha Williams. I'm 20 years old." Ellen knelt down in the aisle beside Keisha's row, her purple blazer spreading around her as she created a safe space in what must have felt like overwhelming exposure. "Keisha, can I ask you something? How much makeup are you wearing right now?" Keisha looked down at her hands, which were stained with multiple shades of foundation. 2 different foundations, concealer, powder, highlighter. I've been trying to get the color right for 2 hours before coming here. The studio fell into that particular silence that happens when hundreds of people realize they're witnessing internalized trauma playing out in real time. From the stage, Cynthia Erivo stood up immediately. Without being asked, without consulting producers, she walked down to join Ellen and Keisha. This celebrity interview had just become something infinitely more important. Cynthia approached Keisha with the reverence of someone who understood exactly what it meant to be told your natural beauty wasn't enough. "Keisha," Cynthia said softly, "what color are you trying to get right?" Keisha's composure cracked completely. "Lighter," she whispered. "I've been trying to look lighter since I was 12. Everyone says I'm too dark, that I'd be pretty if I was just a few shades lighter." Ellen felt her heart breaking as she watched. This young woman carried the weight of colorist beauty standards. "Who is everyone? Keisha?" "Boys at school said they don't date girls as dark as me. My own family calls me Darky and says I need to find a light-skinned man to improve our bloodline. Even strangers tell me I should try skin-lightening creams or stay out of the sun." Keisha's voice was getting stronger despite her tears. "I'm tired of looking in the mirror and hating what I see." Cynthia knelt beside Ellen, creating an intimate circle while Keisha continued to clutch her compact like it held the solution to her pain. "Keisha, how long have you been covering your skin like this?" 8 years, Keisha replied. "I spend hours every morning trying to make myself acceptable. I haven't let anyone see my natural skin since high school. I don't even look at myself in the mirror without makeup." Cynthia's expression had shifted into something Ellen had rarely seen from any celebrity. A fierce maternal protectiveness combined with righteous anger at the systems that had convinced this beautiful young woman she was flawed. "Keisha, I want you to listen to me very carefully," Cynthia said with quiet intensity. "Your skin tone is not a mistake. It's not something that needs to be fixed or improved or lightened. It's beautiful exactly as it is." Keisha looked up at Cynthia with something approaching hope for the first time in the conversation. "But everyone says..." "Everyone is wrong," Cynthia said firmly. "And the everyone who told you that your darkness was a problem, they were passing on pain that was never yours to carry. Colorism is a wound that slavery left on our community, and it's been poisoning us ever since." Ellen stood up slowly, her heart racing as she realized they were witnessing the psychological impact of centuries of beauty standards designed to make Black women hate themselves. "Keisha, what would happen if you went outside tomorrow with your natural skin showing?" "I don't know," Keisha admitted, panic creeping into her voice. "I literally don't know what I look like anymore. I don't know if people would stare, if they'd be disgusted, if they'd think I was ugly." Cynthia reached into her purse and pulled out something unexpected, a small bottle of makeup remover and some cotton pads. "Keisha," Cynthia said, "I want to ask you something, and I want you to feel completely free to say no. Would you let me help you see your natural skin? Right here, right now?" Keisha stared at the makeup remover like it was both a lifeline and a threat. "I'm scared," she whispered. "I know," Cynthia said gently. "But I promise you, what we're going to find underneath all that makeup is beautiful." Ellen felt tears welling in her own eyes. "Keisha, 400 people are here today, and millions watching. And I guarantee you that when we see your natural skin, we're going to see exactly what Cynthia sees. Beauty. Slowly, with trembling hands, Keisha nodded. What happened next was one of the most powerful moments in Ellen's show history. With infinite gentleness, Cynthia began removing the layers of foundation from Keisha's face. As each cotton pad revealed more of Keisha's natural dark skin, the studio grew quieter, more reverent. When Cynthia finished, Keisha sat there with her natural skin glowing under the studio lights, more beautiful than any makeup could ever make her. The audience erupted in applause, but it wasn't polite television applause. It was recognition, celebration, and love for a young woman seeing herself clearly for the first time in 8 years. Cynthia held up the small, compact mirror so Keisha could see her reflection. "What do you see?" Cynthia asked softly. Keisha stared at herself for a long moment, fresh tears streaming down her face. I see me," she said with wonder. "I forgot how beautiful my skin is." Ellen began removing her purple blazer. "Keisha, this blazer has been with me through some of my most important interviews. But today it's witnessing something more important than any celebrity story. It's witnessing someone meeting herself for the first time." She placed the blazer around Keisha's shoulders. "You came here today hiding under layers of makeup, but you're leaving with your natural beauty shining. That's courage." But it was Cynthia's next words that brought the entire studio to their feet. "Keisha, I want you to know something. Your dark skin is not a consolation prize. It's not something to overcome or apologize for. It's your inheritance from queens and warriors and ancestors who survived everything so you could be here, exactly as you are." Cynthia stood up and addressed the cameras directly. "If there are young Black women watching this who have been told they're too dark, too different, not the right kind of beautiful, please know that you are perfect exactly as you are. Please know that your melanin is your superpower, not your burden." The moment that brought the entire studio to sustained applause came when Ellen asked Keisha what she wanted to say to other young Black women struggling with colorism. "I want them to know that the mirror isn't the enemy," Keisha said, her voice clear and strong as she touched her natural skin. "The enemy is the voice that tells us we're not enough, but that voice is lying. We are more than enough. We are everything." Cynthia's eyes filled with tears of pride. "Yes, you are. You are everything." 3 months later, Keisha Williams appeared on the Ellen DeGeneres show again, but this time she was glowing with confidence, her natural skin radiant, her hair in beautiful natural curls. She had become a mental health advocate specializing in colorism trauma. Cynthia Erivo, who had stayed in regular contact with Keisha, appeared in person to celebrate her transformation and announce the launch of a program specifically designed to help young Black women heal from colorism and embrace their natural beauty. The segment sparked a national conversation about colorism within Black communities and the psychological damage of Eurocentric beauty standards. Keisha became an advocate for melanin acceptance, speaking at colleges about self-love and the importance of seeing beauty in all shades of Blackness. Ellen learned that day that her job wasn't to interview famous people about their latest projects. Her job was to create moments where internalized oppression could be challenged, where young women could remember their inherent worth, and where centuries of beauty lies could be replaced with truth. Cynthia Erivo learned that the most important performances happen not on Broadway stages, but in moments when her own journey to self-acceptance gives someone else permission to love the skin they're in. And Keisha Williams learned that sometimes the scariest thing you can do, letting people see your natural self after years of hiding, is also the most liberating thing you can do for your soul and everyone who comes after you. because the most powerful songs aren't always sung in theaters. Sometimes they're sung in mirrors, where young Black women learn to see their darkness as light, their features as art, and their natural selves as exactly the kind of beautiful the world needs to see more of.